You are listening to the Drink Less Lifestyle podcast with Dr. Sherry Price, episode number 170.
Welcome to Drink Less Lifestyle, a podcast for successful women who want to change their relationship with alcohol. If you want to drink less, feel healthier, and start loving life again, you're in the right place. Please remember that the information in this podcast does not constitute medical advice. Now, here's your host, Dr. Sherry Price.
Well, hello, my friend, and welcome to the final episode of Drink Less Lifestyle. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It has been such an amazing journey, and thank you for coming along with me on this journey. The next time you'll hear from me will be under the new podcast, Health, Habits, and Epic Living. And I cannot wait to help you with game-changing information that will transform your life and help you live and feel more epic. But today, for the final episode, I thought it would be an excellent way to talk about when a chapter in your life ends. We know that we go through life, things come into it, things move out of it. There's times of transition, there's times of change. And as we're wrapping up the year of 2023 and moving into the new year of 2024, it may be time to look at things in your life that you feel you want to leave here in 2023. There may be some habits, some behaviors, some maybe people in your life, things that you do, ways you've been that you're just like, I am kind of done thinking that way, done doing that, done behaving like that. And I just want to leave it here in the past and not take it with me forward into the new year. And I could tell you, it can feel very hard to walk away from something that's been a part of your life for so long. But we really have to come back and ask ourselves, if that thing that we want to walk away from is really no longer serving us and no longer serving you, don't you kind of owe it to yourself to make that change and just leave it behind? I know a lot of people feel this way about drinking too much. Excessive drinking just doesn't feel good. And they know it's no longer serving their health, their mind, the way they feel about themselves. And so leaving that part behind can produce a huge change in your life. And I'll tell you what, many people will not close a chapter in their life. And do you know why that is? It's because too many people are worried about closing a chapter of their life because they're worried about disappointing other people. And what will other people think if they change, if they make this change, if they're no longer this person or they no longer do these activities or no longer engage in a certain behavior? So as we close out this year, I want you to ask yourself some things, like what needs to stay here in 2023 and doesn't move on with me into the new year? What things are you wanting to shed? What feelings are you wanting to shed? What door do you want to close so potentially another one can open? Some people are in a season of life where they're spread so thin because they have too many doors open. And when you're in that space, it can be very difficult to make any meaningful progress on the things that are most important to you because you are spread so thin. And so when you're not making progress in those important areas, you feel like you're stagnating. You feel like you're not growing, you're not progressing. And there's no forward movement and therefore no momentum that builds. And when I'm doing this audit for myself, I like to really reflect on what things are no longer serving me as a person. What do I no longer feel aligned with? This could be ways of being, ways of acting, ways of thinking, how much is on my plate, what things need to be taken off or what things need to be delegated. I also think about what no longer serves me in this version of my life in terms of health, or what things do I need to bring in or do differently to better serve my health. And when I speak of health, I oftentimes think of wellness in that category as well, mental and emotional wellness. Where are my frustrations? Are any of those things that I could leave behind? Because when you don't leave things behind and you know they no longer serve you, they wind up being the actual thing that holds you back. And I think coming to the close of a year is a perfect time to do this reflection and give yourself that permission to let go and to keep it in the past. Because your future invites a new version of you, a new identity, one that you want to birth, one that even though you're taking a step forward can still feel scary. Because sometimes it's hard to let go. It's hard to move on. And it feels scary because you haven't done it before. You haven't stepped into this new version of you. And newness brings excitement and sometimes scary, but that's growth. And as I'm reflecting, it is kind of scary to walk away from this amazing podcast that I love so much and open up to a new podcast. And there's some excitement there, and there's also some scary there as well, because I know what to expect if I keep on the track of doing Drink Less Lifestyle. But it also doesn't feel right because I know I can offer so much more value based on my experience and my knowledge. Because I help people change habits. I help people embrace better health. I help people feel better in their life and more epic. And that's way bigger than just focusing on drinking. Both are great, but one has tremendously more benefits. And growth, I think, is supposed to feel scary because every time I do it, there's a little bit of intrepidation inside. But it also feels exciting and expansive because with growth, you see more opportunities or you feel more opportunities are waiting for you. And as we are embarking into the new year, I have completed my vision board, and you know I'm big on choosing a word of the year. And this word of the year came to me when I wasn't even thinking about it. It's like, there's the word. That's going to be the word for 2024. And my word for next year is change. I'm ready for change. I want to embody more change, much more change. And I don't want my brain to fear it. I don't want my brain to think it's a bad thing. I want to embrace it on a bigger level than I have ever done. Also, in the new year brings a new decade for me. I will be turning 50. And in this season of my life, I've been experiencing so much change with perimenopause and all of the symptoms I've been experiencing, like my anger rearing its ugly head again, and my anxiety levels have increased, and my sleep became wonky, and I just felt off. And I've shared that I've done a detox diet, which has helped with some of those symptoms, and seeing a functional medicine doctor has really helped me get a hold of these symptoms when I found the things that I was doing just wasn't working. And I'll be sharing more of that journey with you in the new year, so it can help so many women through times of transition and times of change when we don't know what's going on with our bodies. So I like this word because I really want to invite more change into my life. Change is happening anyway, right? Why not stop fearing it and start inviting, embracing, and working with it? And with change, I expect to grow more. I want to grow more. And when I grow more, of course, I'll be trying new things. And some of those may turn out not to work out so well. So when you embrace change, you also run the risk that you'll fail. And I know I'll fail. I'm expecting that to happen. And that will be okay. Because it's only through your failures you really learn how to succeed. And I'm opening up myself to all of it. And there's one thing I like to keep in mind. When it feels difficult, when it feels scary, when my brain's like, no, but staying the same is so much easier. I like to remind myself that yes, ending a chapter or ending something that you've normally done can be scary. I remind myself that, I'm changing. And if I really don't like the change, I can always go back. I'd actually have that conversation with myself when I said, I want to drink a lot less. And I started drinking a lot less. And I'm like, well, if I don't like this lifestyle, if I find it to be not as fun, I can always go back to drinking more. And then it didn't seem so scary for my brain. It didn't seem like it had to be this all or nothing and I'm changing overnight and let the past be the past. It was like, no, we can keep that door open, just ajar, just in case I'm not really liking the change I'm making. Now, I know that sounds silly, but it works. And I have other ladies who have tried that approach and they say, wow, that works because I don't set myself up for 100% perfectionistic ways of being. It's like, okay, I can always go back and it just seems less scary to take the next step. But the funny thing is, nobody wants to go back to being an overdrinker. Nobody really wants that lifestyle when they start to experience how much better they feel, how much clearer they feel, how much more energy they have, and how much they love not craving alcohol. It feels so good not to crave alcohol. Know that you can just take it or leave it. You don't even think about it at the end of the day. It just doesn't enter your mind. And for a lot of people, they think about alcohol a lot. So giving yourself that gift to walk away from all that mental chatter, all that emotional drama, and not feeling so good is such a gift. Especially as we age, we know our bodies cannot metabolize alcohol the same way in our 40s and 50s and 60s as it did in our 20s. And many women tell me it stops feeling good and it takes them a lot longer to bounce back. And not to mention the regret just grows. Like, here I am again. Here I did this again. And so just consider as we're closing out the year and as we're coming upon January, consider what you want to leave behind. Consider even doing a dry January. Consider closing the door, at least for now, on the chapter of overdrinking or drinking at all, because you can consider how amazing you might feel and how proud you'll be. And not only that, it may be just one of the best decisions you've made. Have the courage to walk away and close a chapter in your life and to close a door. And you know, when you end one chapter, you know you're walking into another. Yes, right? Ending a chapter means another one opens. Happy New Year, my friends. Thank you for being with me on this wonderful journey of Drink Less lifestyle. I've appreciated your listenership, and I look forward to having you join me in my new chapter on the new podcast, Health, Habits, and Epic Living. See you there in the new year. If you want to change your relationship with alcohol and with yourself, then come check out Epic You. It's where you get individualized help mastering the tools so you can become a woman who can take it or leave it and be in control around alcohol in any situation. Epic You is the place for women who want to be healthy, confident, and empowered to accomplish their goals and live their best life. Come join us over at epicu.com/epicu. That's epicu.com/EPICYOU. I can't wait to see you there.